Welcome back to Story Times with Bimbo. Last time I told a story on this channel, I talked about the time I smoked nutmeg with my friend. And I said in that video, if that video got 5 or more likes, that I would tell the story about me tripping on mushrooms for the first, not for the first time, my second time tripping mushrooms, but it's my worst experience with them. And you guys completely destroyed that video, getting it to 38 likes in like 2 days, which is crazy because I've never had that happen to me. So you guys deserve this video, all right? So before we start, all right, I planned on tripping the day before. So I had full intent on tripping balls this day and taking an eighth. I took 4 grams this day, all right? And I planned on buying the mushrooms the day of, which is the worst thing ever. If you're going to plan a trip, have mushrooms on you and then plan, all right? Because the worst thing to happen when you're trying to trip balls is waiting for the plug. Now, this was during when I was in high school. I was a sophomore going into a junior in high school during the summer. And we planned on going to this girl's house. We'll call her Emily. We planned on going to Emily's house, but of course we had to obtain the shrooms, all right? And they took forever to get. That's what I mean by get your shrooms, then plan, because we waited like 2 hours before going to this girl's house. And the whole reason why I even wanted to do shrooms in the first place was because the night prior, I had a friend come over and we smoked weed and she told me she was on just one of these little chocolate little bars. Like, it's literally like I took a Hershey's and split it in half. That's how big these like little square bars were, right? These little chocolate bars. And she only took 1 and was like actually tripping nuts. So I wanted to take 2. I wanted to just one-up her for some reason. I don't know why. But me and Sam agreed that we were going to one-up her the next day. So I get picked up from Haley because she's the designated driver. And she picks up Samo and Marcus. And we start heading to the plug, right? And we get our shrooms. On the way back from, because we had to go to the boonies. I ain't gonna lie. We had to go to the boonies of Illinois. And if you know anything about Illinois, it's the boonies and then there's just farmland. Nothing but farms, cows, and horses. And then once you pass that, you get to the slums, all right? You know it's the slums when the houses don't have driveways. And I remember we were driving back from the plug's house, and it was like a 30 to maybe 20-minute drive. I forgot. This is where like my kind of my perception of time kind of like got weird, where I didn't know really how long it's been, if that makes sense. And I'll get to that. But I remember on the drive back, Marcus just ate his. He ate the one he bought. We bought 2. We bought 5 all together. I had 2. Marcus had 1. Samo had 1. And Marcus just popped his right away when he got it. He got it in his bag, like a little plastic bag, and he just took it out and ate it right away. And I was like, bro, why are you just gonna eat that right away? Like, you're not even gonna wait until we get to like the spot or nothing? He goes, nah, these take a while to kick in. I was like, all right, you know what? You got a good point. So I popped mine too. I ate both of them. And Samo saw me eat both of them. And he said, well, I got to join too. So he ate both of his too. And I just want to let y'all know that that's a mistake. Like, it was a very bad mistake to do this. I'm not going to lie. Like, oof. So we're driving back. And Haley is the worst driver of all time. Like, I am so convinced she's blind. Because she just doesn't see shit. Like, she's the worst driver I've ever seen in my life. To this day. And how the house is laid out is we had to park on the side of the road. Kind of like the boonies, like I was saying earlier. So we have to park on the side of the road. And she misses it 3 times, dude. Like, she is like in the middle of the road each time. We're like, you gotta back, you gotta spin the block again. Like, you gotta do it again because you can't get it right. And it eventually got to the point where Marcus said, fuck it, I'm driving. And he got into the driver's seat and he's tripping at this point. We're kind of, it settled in as soon as we arrived at the house. As soon as I got to the house, it started to kind of like, it's not like I was tripping balls yet, but I was starting to come up. And I think everyone was starting to come up because we were tripping, dude. I remember we were like, I don't know if it's like that far off or if like we're just kind of tripping now. And like it got to the point where Marcus parked and we eventually saw, oh, we're not tripping. She's just a horrible driver. So we told Emily that we're there and to come like let us in the house. We come into the house and her room was in the worst location ever. This house had no AC, so there is no AC in the middle of the summer. It's like 80 something degrees outside. I'm sweating balls already because Haley refuses to put the AC on in her car, and I'm over here fucking dying, bro. I'm sweating already balls before I got into this house, and I walked into this house sweating more balls. And her room was in the attic. And if you know anything, if your room was ever in the attic, or if you've ever been in an attic during the summertime with no AC, it is atrocious. It is the worst thing ever. It's like being in a sauna. Like, dead ass, it's like being in a sauna. So we get up there, and I'm already kind of gasping for air, bro. Like, it got that hot up there where I'm like, and it's not like she got cats or anything, because I'm allergic to them bitches, but like, nah, dude, she has no animals at all. She has a dog. Oh, yeah, she had a big-ass dog. But I'm okay with dogs. And I'm up there breathing. And I remember we're just looking around this room, and everybody's just talking. But in my head, nobody was. And, like, that's how, like, bad it was, dude. I was upstairs just thinking in my head while everyone around me was conversating. Bro, I probably look like a crackhead looking back on it. But I remember me and Sam were having the same experience. Like, Marcus was fine. Marcus was talking. He was Gucci. He was all good, bro. And me and Sam are over here quiet as hell in the corner of this room, not saying a word. We're over there kind of tweaking, bro. And I convinced myself in my head that the only oxygen in the room was this little house fan going around in like a circle. You know, like those little like stick fans, like the white stick fans. Yeah, that thing was going around. And every time it would pass me, I would try to breathe in through the fan, dude. I'd go, and then it would go away, and I'd go back to holding my breath, and it would come back around and go, and then it'd go back away, and I'd keep holding my breath, and I convinced myself that was the only oxygen in the room. And it got to a point where we were visibly tweaking. Like, you could look at us and be like, oh, he's on something. Because, dude, it got to the point where I was like, dude, I just need to smoke some weed. Like, that's when my head went to it. My head went to, I need to roll a blunt or hit a bowl or some shit, dude. And I forgot I had my cart on me. Like, I had a cart in this instance, which I forgot to mention. Like, I always had a cart back in high school. I ain't gonna lie. I was a cart fiend. Dude, I always had a cartridge on me, but I needed to smoke weed for some. My brain convinced itself it needed to smoke weed and not the fucking carts, bro. Because I started to rip my cart, and it was the worst idea. I started to kind of trip harder and sweat harder. I started to get the dab sweats. And so I was like, all right, Emily, can we go outside? Like, I just need some fresh air. Like, it's bad in here. And she goes, oh, yeah, I completely understand. And she goes out, and she sees that the coast is clear because her parents are home. And she didn't tell us that our parents were home, bro. And so we get there, and she's like looking around. We're all good. She gets us away to the back, right? And we're in the backyard now at this point. It's the middle of the day, by the way. Like, her parents probably just came home from work. Her parents probably don't want to deal with this shit. And we're out in the back, and her parents didn't know she smoked weed, all right? Because my parents did. At this point in my life, my parents did know I smoked weed, and they didn't really care. Not that they didn't care, but like, they knew I could be doing harder shit. So she didn't know that, and I didn't know that. So we were out back, and Marco started rolling a joint or something. I forgot. He started rolling some weed, though. And I'm sitting out in the back, and me and Sam are actually in pain. Like, at this point in the trip, we're starting to get pain, like a stomach cramp almost. That's what it felt like. Like, if you ever get the poop cramps, if you know what that is, bro, where you have to take a shit, but you can't poop, so it kind of just, like, cramps up in your stomach. That's what it felt like, but without needing to take a shit. That's exactly what it felt like. Like a stomach cramp, but I didn't need to poop. And I remember me and Sam were just leaning over I was over the grass, because how this backyard was laid out it was a porch, right? And then like you can lean off the porch and like to the grass, right? So there was a porch before you got to the grass. So I'm on the porch, leaning over the porch, looking at the grass and seeing it move and shit. And I'm seeing it like change colors and shit. And I'm looking at the fucking the porch, and I'm like, bro, the porch keeps morphing, dude. It keeps morphing into different colors. And at this point, Marcus is like, oh, he's tweaking. Like, he's tripping balls, actually. And like, at this point, I started to feel a little bit better. As soon as I got some fresh air in me and I started to breathe in a little bit and caught myself, I started to feel a little bit better. But for some reason, I didn't feel completely better, if that made sense. Like, I didn't feel completely okay. So Samo is actually having the worst time. Like, he's having a worse time than me. He's on the chair, sitting at where the, like, because like I said, it's on the porch, and then there's like a table, right? And he's sitting at the table, and he's just leaning over, like hunched over, like hurled in pain, dude. And all you hear him going is, whoa, whoa, whoa. And all I could think about, bro, is bro sound like Hank Hill from fucking King of the Hill, dude. That's exactly the noise he made. And he did that for like 10 minutes, bro. He did that for 10 minutes. I remember we ended up not even smoking weed. We came out here for no fucking reason, just to get fresh air, actually. And I remember I was like, you know what would make me feel better? If I poured water on my head, because we had bottles of water out there. So I grabbed a bottle of water, cracked that bitch open, and just start pouring it on my head. And for some reason, that helped. That actually helped me. Like, it like drowned out all the bad thoughts. Like, actually. Like, that actually made me feel a little bit normal. And I was like, you know what? Now I feel like I kind of have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, Sam, pour some water on your head. It helps. And everyone around me is like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That sounds like an awful idea. And Sam's like, snatches the water bottle off of my hand and just pours the whole thing on his head. And he's like, you know what? That kind of did feel a little bit better. And bro was like, you know what? That actually worked. I need more water. And so he tries to get more water. Everyone around him at this point, like, no, you're not getting more water. Everyone was mad at me for giving him the water bottle. And I was like, you know what? Emily, I have to poop. So she takes me to the bathroom, and she takes me to this one bathroom, bro. It has a mirror on the door. Like, no, I was like, no, I can't go on that one. I remember I told her specifically that I did not want to go on that one. She goes, I mean, we got one more in the basement. So I go in the basement, bro, and I'm just like sitting at the basement, all right, and I'm shitting, right? And bro, it is the best poop I've ever had to this day. Like, I can't describe how, like, grateful I was from that, because as soon as that happened, I felt so much better, and my trip got so much better, all right? And I'm pooping and this and that, right? And it's just amazing, right? And I get up, I wipe, you know, do my thing, all right? I go upstairs, and at this point, I feel so much better. I'm ripping my dab pen. I'm feeling a little bit better. Sam's feeling a little bit better. He goes to the bathroom. He comes out, and, you know, we're tripping now at this point. And we're talking, and a bunch of people start heading over. Like, I guess her parents left, and a bunch of people start coming over. And my other friend, Sam, comes over. Not Samo, but Sam. Like, this other Sam that we knew that we smoked with, right? Occasionally. And he comes over, bro. And he starts trying to, like, you know, rizz up girls, whatever, bro. And I remember he had weed on him, bro. And I remember we were like fucking, we were like goddamn minions for weed, bro. We were like, me. And we go out back, bro. He rolls us up, bro. He smokes us out. I know Marcus had weed too, so he smoked us out too. But we went out to the back as soon as her parents left, bro. We sparked up, bro. And I got so fucking high, dude. It was incredible. Like, I was so high. Like, it was bad. Like, and I knew I was high because when I looked at Sam's face, I could see tracers on his from the pimples on his face. Like, that's kind of fucked up to say, but like, that's really how it was, dude. Like, I was so high and tripping balls at the same time so much that when I looked at his pimples, bro, when I looked at Sam's pimples, because he has acne. I don't think he has acne anymore, but he used to back in high school. And I looked at his acne, bro, and I remember the tracers were his acne. So it looked like his face was spinning in, if that makes sense. And I guess Emily either asked Marcus or Sam to use his weed to roll a joint, right? And I didn't think too much of it. She's probably just learning how to roll. You know, we're sophomores in high school. We don't know how to do shit with weed, you know? And she rolls this joint. She's passing it around from all the people that are smoking. Because I forgot to mention, this was like the whole reason Emily had us over was because she had a bunch of friends over for Bible study. This was a Bible study class. Like, she went there to, like, study the Bible, talk about the Bible, bro. Like, a bunch of people that were there were sober Sallies. Never touched a substance in their life, dude. And, she's there with them. Like, she was the only one that smoked weed that was from the Bible verse class, dude. Like, that, like, looking back on it, that's insane. That they, like, a bunch of sober Sallies, they've never smoked weed. They've never done anything. Watched us trip balls like that in her house. That's crazy. But like, I remember she asked him to like roll a joint out of his weed, and he goes, all right, yeah, I bet, that's all right. And she passed this joint around, and it tastes funny, dude. I was wondering why does this taste funny? What's in it, dude? This ain't weed. Like, I could get a hint of weed, but it's not all the way weed. There's something else in there. Like, it tastes a little fruity, smells a little bit weird, and she tells me she puts lavender in her bowls and in her joints. Bro, what? Lavender? Like the plant lavender? She goes, yeah, I have a bunch. You want some? I go, nah, I'm good on that. She ended up giving me it anyways. But, yeah, bro, she was putting lavender in the joints, dude. And she had a little bong with her. She was putting lavender in them shits. Dude, I don't know if you're supposed to be smoking lavender. Like, I've never tried that, mixing the joint up with the lavender. That's never been a thing I've done. And when I did do it on accident, it didn't really do much difference than when I was smoking regular weed, you know? So, like, I don't know if there's a difference with that or some shit, but yeah, she was putting lavender in the joints, dude. So, you know, it starts to turn dark out. You know, we go inside the crib. We're watching, like, Harry Potter, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm, like, maybe 90% sure it's Harry Potter that we're watching on the big TV in the living room. You know, we come in after smoking, you know, all of us do that, we're smoking outside. Because a lot of us did not smoke that were there. Like I said, it was a Bible class, bro. A lot of people that were there were, like, hardcore Christians. And, we sit down. I start talking to some of the females there because Emily had a bunch of females, you know. I didn't care that they were Christian or I didn't give a fuck, dude. I was trying to still talk to them like that, you know. And I find out, bro, this is when I found out that they were all Christian and they all like did the Bible, like they pray to that shit and all that. And I go, damn, dude. So you guys watch me do mushrooms? And they start laughing. They're like, yeah, we were wondering what you were on. And I remember, dude, like this, I forgot her name, dude, but I think, dude, it was like this little small short chick. And she was like, yeah, I'll never touch a substance in my life. After watching what you guys went through, I was like, dude, no, I scarred someone for life from a substance, dude. And, you know, it eventually got late and I started to come down a tiny bit, like, I shouldn't say tiny, but I started to come down hella, but compared to what I was tripping. But we decided to leave, me, Haley, Marcus, and Samo. We all decided to leave, you know. Haley's our designated driver, so she's going to drive us, right? It's dark now. Like, it's the middle of the night. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night, right? We're outside. She hops in the car. We all hop in the car. We're about to leave. We pull up to the end of the street because it's like a street, obviously, right? We pull up to the end of the street. It's a stop sign. Then it's like a busy road, right? We pull up into the busy road and almost get smacked by a car. Like, if Haley's instincts weren't like seconds delayed, we would have gotten smacked hella hard. I probably would have died, not be able to tell this video as we speak. But she barely makes this turn while a car's coming. And she's high. She smokes weed, right? And Marcus looks at me, looks at Samo in the back, and then looks at Haley and is like, nah, I'm driving. Pull over now. So she pulls over. He hops in the driver's seat. And that was pretty much my night, boys. Like, that was actually it. Like, that's actually what happened. I went home, slept, and that was history. I was never allowed back at Emily's house, obviously. I was probably banned, most likely. Actually, that's not true. I went there for Halloween 2 years ago. So, all right. But it was a while before I was allowed back. I was banned for like 2 years from that house. I don't blame her, though. She saw me do some crazy shit in my head. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video of me doing mushrooms. If this video gets 5 or more likes, bro, I'll tell this story about how me and Marcus used to steal water bottles and be a menace in gym class, bro. I'll tell you them stories if this video gets 5 or more likes, bro. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe. Really shows me you support this kind of content on the channel. And just in case I don't see it, man, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.